GM. GM, 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 G fucking M. GM, 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 GM. Today, something very new. We'll be doing a live market analysis. I'll be trying to do this as often as possible now, because I have the opportunity, I have the possibility. Let me tweet this actually. Come on. Trying out something new today. Live market analysis and post. So yeah, GM, G fucking M. Okay, let's jump right into it. Let's go into Bitcoin. Let's get ourselves. Let's start from the top down. Yeah, let's start right on the top. Okay, what are we seeing here? Actually, I'm wearing the glasses, but like I don't have the webcam on right now, so I don't actually need the glasses, so fuck that. But can I even roleplay the Mimoway character without the glasses? Well, we'll see. Okay, so yesterday, as expected, a red day. A pretty bearish day, actually. As I have already said in my Discord, and if you are not in the Discord yet, actually don't have a link for you at the ready. See, professional streamer and that. Like, there we go. Now I need to get into my stream. This is complicated on YouTube, holy fuck. Not used to streaming on YouTube, so please be a bit patient with me. I will be figuring out all the necessary things, hopefully, rather soon. So this is a Discord, nothing paid, nothing, it's just me yip-yapping around, and you know, if I have a good take, I'll post it in there, and for like a couple of days now, I've been doing also a daily analysis on there via text. From now on, I will try to do it live, and then obviously upload the VOD on YouTube, but also on the Discord, so that we know where we are, where we stand. All right. What else? Yeah, obviously you are more than welcome to join this Discord. I'll post it a couple more times later on in the stream. But yeah, let's get into the analysis. As I said, well, that's where we started yesterday. We are forming a higher low here. That's what I'm seeing. However, this could also be seen as, wait, I said lower high, right? I meant a lower high. I think I said higher low. But this is a higher low, but this is a lower high. So we're in a very, very specific market condition where just no one knows where the fuck this market's going. Obviously, one thing that is very, very important to always keep in mind is that we are above $100,000 on Bitcoin. That's obviously a massive psychological barrier. A lot of people are never going to buy above 100,000. So this here, this whole move, how can I show this? Here this candle, obviously we pushed through the 100,000. This whole move up here is to me a massive surprise that it worked as well as it did, because you just don't find people that are willing to buy, you know, Bitcoin at above 100,000. Most people are already, okay, hands off. This is no longer a place where I want to enter. This is no longer, you know, a place where I feel comfortable. Especially if we zoom out a little further, we also see, I mean, there's a lot of people that bought, for example, here, right, during this April-March madness, right. Here, the first signs that we're regaining some strength. A lot of people bought here, 84k, right. We are rushing through 100k, which previously was obviously, you know, massive barrier at 106k. A lot of people were meant to sell it, which is what happened here on May 19th, right? Profit taking, because you're like, I'm in a situation where I don't really want to be, because I would never buy Bitcoin here, so why am I not selling? So that's what's happening there. And this also explains why this is obviously made a new all-time high back then. But then with the whole James Wynn situation, I know a lot of people say, oh, this has nothing to do with the market, but it really does. Because Bitcoin is an asset that is fully linked to attention. As long as people talk about it, and as long as people care about it, it is going to fluctuate. And if that stops happening, then, well, the price is dropping. And this whole James Wynn situation obviously brought a lot of more attention to Bitcoin. I do believe that this little pump up here should never have happened, but it did. I expected something much more. Let me get rid of this. This is all old now. This is all we've gone over this. We know this now. We know. I would have expected something much different, which would have been a really clear drop into the range from right here, which is technically what happened, but I would not have expected, you know, a pump back to happen. Get out of it, test it again, and if we are truly bullish still, then we would have broken the high in my ideal world here, and from down we would have had to see. I think then would have come into very spicy territories, where we are very much flushing. Now, as I've said yesterday in the Discord, this range here, this daily range from the 12th of May is what I'm looking at. Here, clearly, on Tuesday, we had a fake breakout, false breakout. We went above it. We were above it for quite a while on Tuesday, and then we went back into it. And the way how we clearly respected it here on Monday already is to me a clear sign that this range is very much valid. And what I'm looking at now is to see the lower ends of this range. To here at 102,000, this liquidity that we have there, I do believe that this should get taken out. So what is likely that we see, in my, you know, very humble and very beginner-like opinion on Bitcoin. As most of you know, I've started my journey in crypto on Solana, and I have, you know, that's more my world, the meme coins, the altcoins, and Bitcoin in itself is something still very new to me with its price action. But what I could see happen is that we go down a bit, we take out these lows here, so we close below this, then we come for a little retest, and then, to be honest, I think the deeper we go into June, the deeper we're going into the summer, the more likely it is that we see some strong bearishness. Take this out. I think if we do take this out, there's a little like pump back, and then I think since we took it, we're also going to test, you know, new levels. Maybe just the 50 EMA, but maybe, you know, we go even further down. I do not think that this is then a very bearish sign. I just think that it shows that we are, you know, calming down a bit, because there's also, if you look at this, something that I haven't even necessarily seen. There's a fair value gap. It's not it's not a big fair value gap, but it is one that is massively left behind. This one here, the one from the very big impulse candle, was obviously filled. But touching this fair value gap here, not unrealistic. Then here we have a fair value gap that was filled. To be fair, this candle here filled it. So this might even be already too low to look for an entry. But everything below 100k right now is, on a short-term perspective, in my opinion, a good entry point. So as soon as we leave this range down, I would look for bids, because I do not think that we are going to break down on it like right away. I think it's more likely that we are going to chop around a bit on the bottom, go to the highs once more. I think this range is very, very valid, because we have also seen it be quite valid here around the December, February all-time high shenanigans. So I would really pay attention to this and have a look out for this in general. Otherwise, what are we seeing? 12, 21 EMAs are slowly but surely turning bearish. Obviously today still very, very important, because we tried to take the 21 EMA already. I mean, we did take it, but it will be crucial to see developments on that, how we are moving, where we are moving. And yeah, then the 50 EMA would be the next big step. I mean, it is, let's take all bullishness, this was from earlier. Let's take all stupid bullishness away. This is a very unhealthy move for a market if it doesn't get a corresponding correction, right? I mean, everything that has happened with Bitcoin ever since, you know, the election is this here. This was what happened in late February, early March, was till April, was the most healthy thing that could happen to Bitcoin. A very good correction that has filled a lot of these gaps here, that has, you know, given investors time to accumulate, given investors time to come back into the market and, you know, to gather capital. Hello, you know, I mean, at one point you already also need the capital to invest. So this was very healthy there. The fact that we are moving up again so drastically leaves me to think that testing at least everything that is between this fair value gap and the range, range. Let's color this differently, because my eyes are slowly but surely. No, let's make it green, because we want to buy there. This is where you want to buy, okay? Maybe a general outlook that I have on the market for the next, you know, months. 2025 is, according to the cyclicality, which I have a video planned for you guys on the cyclicality of Bitcoin. According to this theory, this should be the top year. And there is a lot of things that would make you believe that this will probably happen again, as it has happened in all the other 4-year cycles. And it's a lot of macroeconomical stuff that we'll get into. I'll talk, today will also be a bit of a yap session. So so that my editor can get a bunch of shorts, because I think he's slowly but surely he's trying to kill me, because content is lacking. So Jay, this is for you. And yeah, I really think we're topping out in 2025, right? I think that there's also a massive global recession coming, which I said we'll cover a bit later once we have the full analysis of everything done. So our time frame in which we want to see new highs, or we want to see, you know, new actual like explosive moves is very, very constrained. You are not going to 200k in like the next 6 months. It's something that maybe you have to stop believing. 150k is for me a level where I'm saying I can believe, I can see 150,000 this cycle. But I cannot see 200,000 this cycle, and I can be wrong, and I, you know, for all of you Pama bulls, I really hope I'm wrong, and you make a fuck ton of money in this, while you hold it to 200k. But think about it. Let's mark this out on the calendar, and let's maybe go on a weekly for that. Go on a weekly chart. Week. Alright. So if, let's say we take it as somewhere between here and maybe Q1, yeah, Q1 of 2026. So anywhere from where we are here to here is a top. If I am correct, then there is a top at some point. So let's see a date range. I mean, it's 6 months, I know, but like, that's actually pretty much still a year till the end of my range, but like, whatever. Let's see what has historically been happening. I can actually remove all of this from Pro. Like, this is how you see how little I care about Bitcoin in general, because I have not been on this to... Fuck. That was not meant to go away. This... Oh damn, 28, whoa! This is where the last levels were. This is from 2023 and stuff, what the fuck? Okay, so what can happen in this period? Let's look what happened in that time before. Okay, so this is from September of 2024-ish. Oh well, actually August. Okay, the August sweep, let's not count that, huh? It's a 2x. It's a 2x, and the amount of Black Swan events that we had in between August and today is very unrealistic that we're gonna see again. Like, everything that could have gone right for crypto did go right in that period of time. If you want to believe it or not. If you want to sit there and be like, oh, but if this happened, who would be at the moon already? It doesn't matter. There's virtually nothing that was in the way of crypto. Nothing. Because all of the negative aspects, people like to forget that there were negative aspects before that were much, much worse. Much worse. So, to think that this bull market is any similar to anything we've seen before is also foolish. Because the global attention to crypto and especially Bitcoin has risen so dramatically. I mean, everything before, where is it? January, here around. Everything before this had not a single institutional investor in it. Not one. This is the, entry, BlackRock, Van Eck, all of the big ETFs and investment firms. Right? So, this price action is so calm. I mean, look at the size of the candles. It's so calm. It's relaxed. There's nothing happening, no major... I mean, these are crashes. This here is enough to send people into personal bankruptcy, right? But then compare it to what happened here. This is so much more amplified because of the attention, because of the institutional investors as well. And if institutional investors like a BlackRock, like Van Eck, say, oh yeah, we are going big on Bitcoin, then a retail investor will not be like, oh fuck Bitcoin, it's still a scam, right? So, where do I even want to go with this? This is for me to say, what kind of Black Swan event do we need to see for this to be recreated? Because I see people talking about 200,000, right? This by here. Like let's mark out the path so you even see how crazy it would be. As I said, I'm not here to say no, but like in ideal market theories where markets move efficiently, blah 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 blah, this would be the path, right? Does anyone with a clear head see this happening? Because I do not. I do see that 150k, it's much less ridiculous than to think that this asset will double in 6 months. And I'm not here to talk badly about crypto or Bitcoin, but it is very easy in a bull market to think this is never gonna stop, right? this is never gonna stop, we're going to be winning forever, and we're going to the moon, right? It's very easy to see it that way. Right there? Streaming on YouTube is stressful, what the fuck? So, I want to talk a bit of sense maybe into investors as well. I do not think that Bitcoin as an asset will now go to zero. Absolutely not. But maybe be cautious now in these markets, especially given consumer credit in the US is maxed. Like, people have consumer debt. Like, people are fucked by debt because of their consumption. That's something incredibly dangerous. Credit card defaults and all of that is so crazy dangerous for every economy. The housing market is like, there's more signs of a collapse than in 2000, like before 2008. So we are looking firmly at a global recession, and we are sitting here in the crypto market, and we have on Bitcoin all-time highs every couple of months. It's a dangerous divergence. What can realistically happen, which I'm not saying is completely off the book, is that Bitcoin is going to be seen as a counter to a global recession. So, oh yeah, okay, well, the economy is fucked, so everything stocks related and everything's fucked, so let me just buy Bitcoin. That Bitcoin is right. We have no idea what's going to happen to Bitcoin or crypto in general in a global recession. Bitcoin has never seen a recession because Bitcoin was released in 2009, obviously, and ever since we didn't have a financial crisis. COVID should have been so much more of a financial crisis, and it wasn't. So to sit there and think that if a global recession is happening, that Bitcoin will be unfazed by it, is madness. Is madness. So yeah, let's keep going with the analysis because I'm yapping too much. I want to yap, but like not right away. So TLDR for the shorts and everything for Bitcoin. It will be important if we want to see bullish continuance to now here mark a little bottom, right? Have another higher low. So this and this would then be another higher low, and then to strongly reclaim the 21 and maybe even the 12 EMA in the next 3 days, then break out of this range, clearly break out of it again, because then I think we're in for continued bullishness, right? Otherwise, if we see another rejection here at the highs, then I really do think that we should eye more into the direction of 102k and maybe even get into buy zones of sub 100k. Alright, cool. That's it for Bitcoin. Let's jump onto ETH. I'm vomiting. Alright. Ethereum, as said yesterday, keeps on failing to break through this 2700s. I mean, it's even lower. The close of this candle here is 2683.41. It fails to break this. It is holding strong here at the 12 EMA. So that is something to look at. It's I think one of the only assets currently doing that. It is outperforming Bitcoin by a lot. If we look at ETH BTC, I mean, ETH BTC is nuts. Like, look at the downtrend. Where did this downtrend start and where is it gonna end? Alright, cool. Is this August? Yeah, 2024. Like, I mean, I can't even. It doesn't go far enough. But you see what I mean, right? This candle here. this first candle here on the 8th of May is an absolute and utter break of this downtrend. So naturally seeing follow up on that is clear, but I don't know, I do not see ETH doing anything major here. Because where's the demand gonna come from? Why would you buy ETH? Like ETH, like if you don't even go onto the technology or everything, daily RSI is 61.8, right? And it's going down. Price is going down and RSI is going up. So we already accept that maybe these levels of 4K are never going to be touched again, right? For now, let's look at it a bit more different. Okay, this if we only act with like liquidity, highs, lows, blah blah blah, then this is a range that we are currently in. 2788 and 2316. Correct? Correct. The thing that would have to happen is a break of the 2700s. Okay? If we can have that, if we can have a daily close above 2700, then I do genuinely see bullishness for Ethereum. Like all of this is madness, right? All of this just happened. This just happened. But here we are seeing, okay, here is clear resistance, right? 2700 is a clear resistance. And if we look at it, has it ever been a support before? No. It's been maybe half a resistance here in 24. Like literally, this level has never been important. It has low-key never been important. So I mean, here you could maybe see it as resistance. Well, I mean, maybe a couple of times it has been important as resistance. But it's a fully new level that we are testing here, that we are seeing clear resistance at. And I think if we now go up to maybe claim this 2700 once again, and we fail to have it once more, let's give it the path, right? We'll do the path. So we go up to here, 2700, but we close below. So we'll have something like right away like this, you know. Then I do think that we'll have a lower test, but then I do think that maybe not right away, but like something like, okay, take these lows here, jump up a bit more. Oh yeah, we're so fucking back. And then, boom, chaos. Because summer is also notoriously terrible for alts. Summer is notoriously terrible for assets. If we do not break these two 2700s, then 2300 is the most likely outcome, in my opinion. Right. Good. I mean, let's maybe look at the BTC ETF inflows. What's the fucking site called? Is it on CoinGlass? I think it is, right. No, there's a better website for this. Farside Investors, that's the one. Okay. BTC, this is Bitcoin, right? Total. So what's today? 5th, right? Today's the 5th. So yesterday was the 4th. The 4th. 87, this is million, right? Yeah. 87 million of inflows into BTC. Today, I've seen on Twitter, thing is selling, right? Like, what was it? I had it on notifications, I think. Yeah, BlackRock are selling BTC. This is obviously like the way to write this is so hilarious to me. BlackRock are selling their Bitcoin, like they're selling all of them. So yeah, BlackRock is selling Bitcoin. People really make this a cause for ETH, like that they're selling Bitcoin to buy ETH. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they actually are. ETH has been seeing inflows like consistently since the night. Well, I mean it makes sense, right? Because obviously the massive breakout. But 57 million in inflows. I'm really gonna be interested to see what happened today, because if we see big inflows on ETH and the outflows are really that detrimental on Bitcoin, as they seem to be with this morning's selling from BlackRock, then yeah, maybe we're in for another alt season. Maybe we're in for another week of alt season. But until we have the confirmation of that, I would not really think that we're going places here. Okay, cool. So now I can stop talking about that shitcoin. Solana. Could cry while talking about Solana these days. Could cry. It's not laughter of joy, my friends. It's not laughter of joy. But let's keep it. Let's keep it professional here. Oh yeah, I didn't do a TLDR for ETH. TLDR for ETH. Fuck ETH. Right. Solana. So as marked out already in my previous analysis, we have this fair value gap here. Has been filled. Has been tapped. It was. I would see this as a legit attempt to inverse it even, and it failed drastically. And then we obviously came down crushing. So now, I don't even. This is not support. This is wrong. I don't want to call this support because it isn't. But here, you know, we can see a level of interest that maybe it's the full range of this candle on 7th of May that came before the candle of the 8th of May, where we had like such an impulsive boom, right? So for me, that marks a level of interest where people would be like, okay, now we're back at this level, what's gonna happen? We came close on multiple occasions today. Also, we came very close on actually touching this zone. But I would really like to see Solana's price touch it, and then we would see the reaction to it. And if the reaction, okay, actually we're getting way too, like, the music is. Anyone else completely distracted by the music now? Let's get something a bit more chill on. I don't listen to chill music. Anyhow, fuck that. Right. So I would like to see it come to this zone and then see the reaction. If we clearly jump, like, let's say we go into it, right? We go into it slightly, tap it, maybe just till down here, and then we see clearly coming out, right? Then I would like to think that maybe, you know, little retest on the highs of it, little jump back into the FEG, down, up, down, up. The problem with Solana, if we clearly look at it, do I still have this zone marked out? I do not. Anyways. Do I mark it again is the question. Because I don't remember how I marked it. Because I think I did it like that. But this is actually, it's not a good way to do it. It's really not a good way to do it. Okay, now it definitely can't be green. I'd rather say this as red. So this here was the Trump tweet about the shitcoin reserve, or the altcoin reserve, right? And
I mean, I mean, just look at this. If one tweet, right, can cause this is plus 24% in a day, right? 24% on an asset, and then the exact next day, minus 20.5%. Like, this Solana is just attention. Bitcoin, to some degree, is smart investments, like, you know, also technical analysis and everything that matters. Solana is just attention, which is okay. It's fine. That's the way we trade this asset. I mean, I love this asset, right? But you have to be careful when you think about it, when saying, okay, Solana is going to 600 or whatever. Because let's look at where we had the all-time high, right? This was here. This was the Trump coin. So I said this back then, and back then I closed my Solana position at something like 285, I think I closed, which was very, very close to the top. Like, doesn't happen every day to me that I do this. I bought, I think I bought on a couple of occasions. I bought here in October, I bought here slightly before the election, I bought here, and a very, very big position, and I was up hundreds and hundreds of percent, and I closed it there, and people, oh, why, it's going to 500. Yeah, well, but it's not, is it? Because my thinking was back then, and now, you know, Captain Hindsight, I can say I was right. Trump, at the time, was the most talked about human being on the planet. Solana, at the time, was, and today probably still is, dominated by the meme coins. Right? That's the main part of the ecosystem. The most talked about person launched a meme coin, which notoriously only has price action because of attention. And you are telling me that the pumps up are natural moves of the market, where we are barely able to break the highs here that came from the election, which was an actual reason to obviously invest. That's a wild theory, I'm not gonna lie. Because obviously, what happened here? Because if you really want to understand this whole down move here, then you have to understand this candle. What happened? Trump launched his coin, and a bunch of people wanted to buy Trump coin. People that had nothing to do with crypto at all. So people started buying Solana to buy Trump coin, which led Solana to rise in price. Now, Trump coin made a fuck ton of people millionaires, multi-millionaires, that invested maybe $1,000, maybe 10, maybe 5,000 bucks. Right? So all of these people are now like, hey, I want out of this, and they sell their Trump coin for Solana, and then sell their Solana for dollars, right? Because they had no interest in being in the crypto market in the first place. They were there and they, saw the opportunity, they took it and they executed and they made a fuck ton of money. But they never had any intent on staying in this market, especially not with Solana. So that explains this candle, which explains the whole move down, because that's like, well, this is kind of then a risky asset, because imagine like some celebrity, launches a coin and then like all the people sell again, right? And yeah, so it's to say that Solana right now is undervalued just because you know that Solana was up here is a risky statement. I do think Solana is undervalued. I do think Solana is an asset that over the next years will show itself as the clear favorite amongst alts. I do not hope that. I hope that Solana doesn't get an ETF, because we saw what happened to ETH. But it's already happening, right? It's under the covers. It's already happened. So this for now. This is my analysis, that we are going to be chopping around in between this and this, unless we see a clear break. Like another path that we can also see, which I'll mark out for you guys now, if I find the fucking path tool, would be something more like this, you know, where we stay in the... Oh, fuck. Ah! Where we stay in this for a little bit longer. Oh, again, whatever, now I'm leaving. You know, we test it and then we go down. Oh, okay, this is too far. We go down and then, you know, from there on we go for something more like this, you know, and then we are just like, okay, it's over with the bullishness now. You know, it's summer, people are not investing, people are not here, and then we're chilling around for a bit, and then boom, we go for the next rally in like end of the year. That's something that I can realistically see happening. Right. Cool. I should have left them on actually, and then, like, you know, when one of the paths hit, I delete the others, and I'm like, oh, I was such a genius. I said this already in early June that this is gonna happen. Right. I mean, here I didn't even go into this on ETH, but like here, obviously the 50 EMA is like what, 2 daily closes around this level away from being fully bearish again. Which, I mean, obviously it's not a magic indicator, right? But a lot of people use the EMAs, and especially the 50, 100 and 200. So it is a psychological thing. If this crosses red, like, not if it crosses red, but if it crosses into the bearish setup again, then we are likely to see some aggressive selling by people that are, oh, now it's fucked, right? Which can also be very, very well seen, counteracted by aggressive buying, then again from other investors, from people that that are just waiting for this to happen. Okay. Good. That's the 3 main ones covered. Solana TLDR. Oh fuck, shouldn't have taken it away then. Solana TLDR, chop. Best case scenario for the next couple of days is to get into this zone here, aggressively bounce back out of it, test it again from up, and then aim for this fair value gap, and then see what's gonna happen from there. Test this again like that, and then ideally, although we can then no longer talk about this fair value gap because it was filled and blah blah blah, inverse it, and then look to get into this Trump tweet zone, which I'm calling it now. It's a price. It's just a price zone where a lot of shenanigans seem to happen. And yeah, if we can get above this, then that would be obviously very great. But for now, it would be crucial that we see a test of this and then aggressively jump out of it, fair value gap, and then see from there. A less optimal case would be if we actually get into the zone, test the upper thing from below, fail to get out of it again, chop around in it, go below it, test it from below, and then we're in for a bit of bearishness through the whole summer, I would assume. That's my 2 paths, that's what I'm looking at, and that's what you guys as traders should also be looking at. GM. Cool. I kind of want to talk about Sui. Why do I want to talk about Sui? Well, because Sui is a cool coin, actually. I like Sui. I bought a lot of Sui, hold a lot of Sui, love Sui, made some decent profits on Sui. Sui and I, we go way back. We go back till... Where do we go back to? This year? I think this is where we go back to. Around here, end of October, I bought Sui. Alright, cool. Wait. Not even that old yet, is it? I don't know. So... very, very aggressive up move, obviously. So this FIP retracement thing is actually still very valid. The 0.5 thing has not been touched yet. Thing especially. Like the 0.5 line, which is, I mean, pretty much exactly at $3, has not yet been touched. We were very, 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 very close to it here. But we didn't. I mean, this here, for me, is just a chart that I'm not particularly bullish on, I would say. This candle here, breaking these lows, is an indication for me to be like, okay, I'll wait a bit more till I invest into Sui. It is not to say that it is completely fucked, that there's no way that we are, you know, doing something, you know, maybe like this, touch it, and then, you know, pump up right away. then, you know, maybe even check to come into these highs here again. Maybe not. If I make these paths, by the way, this is not like the exact candles and everything. It's just like the so that you have the idea of what could happen, what, you know, in what style the move could happen. Right? Before I get people jumping at me like, oh, but you said that this would spike out here on 13th of June. Yeah, well, yeah, I really didn't pay much attention to what day I put this spike here, right? So this can happen, of course. But the price action and also the fact that like Sui is losing. I mean, the Sui hack, first of all, what was it, Cetus or what, that got hacked, and a couple of other dexes. No. Yeah, decentralized exchanges. That was just, people were not bearish enough when this happened. The reaction was not strong enough, and now we see the clear reaction to it is like, well, fuck, this is just, now we're just cooked, right? Like now people are realizing, okay, this might not be it after all. I do think it's it, and I'm very, 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 very bullish, long term, Sui. But I mean, $3 is something that I think we should at least retest once more. I mean, if you really want to go into detail, then you still have this fair value gap here. Oh, fuck me, mate. Well, fuck it, whatever. Nah, it's a fair value gap. I don't want to give this a color actually, because I wouldn't necessarily know if I'd buy it or not. It's a fair value gap, right, that we have left behind on this massive move. We have left another here. Alright, so there's a lot of, you know, unfilled gaps, unfilled orders, unfilled everything. And I genuinely would like to see this filled if we want to see continued bullishness on Sui. But I understand that here, maybe with this, we have left something behind that we will never touch again, right? Or not until we have a very, very clear bear market, also with Bitcoin. But then I really do think that the bottom is the limit, right? So, yeah, I think getting into this here, this fair value gap for an entry will be very, very optimistic if you're waiting. Getting into this fair value gap, not so much. Not so much, honestly. Because that's just, you know, I mean, one bad day away from this, so there's so much happening in this chart. So yeah, that's for Sui. I think it's very difficult to make. I mean, what about this level? That's why I kind of don't want to go onto coins, because now I'm like, what can happen here? What can we do? So this might even like become a little like this wick here. It's giving me it's giving hope. It's really giving hope. Why is it doing that? Well, because it can become support, right? And if it becomes support, then we're entering whole new levels. But before, this is not like, because here it obviously, I mean, it got flushed, right? So it's kind of irrelevant already. But we'll have to see. For Sui, we really have to see this. There's not a clear verdict that can be given here on this. Thoughtcoin! I promised yesterday I would do an analysis on Thoughtcoin in the Discord, so I'll do it now. Thoughtcoin. Oh boy. I mean, Thoughtcoin I don't even want to look at on the 1 hour chart. I want to go to the 4 hour chart right away, because I think it's irrelevant to be on a 1 day chart on an asset that's like Thoughtcoin. Let me clear out this chart first off. I mean, 4 hour 100 or 50, 100, 200 EMA is, with this candle close, unless it rips through everything, is going to be in a bearish state. This was just, I think, stop loss or whatever. Interesting to see this though. Here, wick, support, maybe, we'll see. I mean, this is clearly still in a downtrend. I mean, it's always very difficult because we are looking at an asset here that's literally called fartcoin. Like the asset is called fartcoin. Okay, it's the most like that we're even trying to apply technical analysis to this here is madness, absolute madness. But it's like it has respected a fuck ton of levels, right? And it's listed on most centralized exchanges for a reason. But on the if you look at the 4 hour here, it's not particularly bullish. I would like to see this form a bottom here. And then I like trading fartcoin. I love fartcoin. I love this coin. I love trading it. It's so entertaining. But after all, you have to think, right? Like, if this doesn't start forming a solid bottom here anytime soon, then I don't really know if this has a future. Especially, I mean, it had its time, right? Like, fartcoin had its moments, right here going up to 165-ish or almost, like actually 165. It's already like more than a coin like that should probably expect, right? I mean, here it had obviously its big moment with 2.7468 as a high, but this was off the hype, right? This was here, it launched on December 20th, or at least that's when it was listed on Bybit, I believe. That's how the chart works. So I don't know how you want to. I mean, on the bigger scheme, right? If you want to be a perma bull on this, this is still an uptrend that is now actually, you know, would have to be respected here and pump up for next pump higher, which is actually not even, like, looking at it that way, it's not that terrible. And to be thinking about EMA lines here is just ridiculous. It doesn't even have a 200-day EMA, so that's just nonsense. But to look at it that way, like, I mean, this is giving me ideas. Honestly, if this candle closes that way, I mean, it's still, you know, almost 4 hours, but if this candle closes this way, I would actually see some. You know what? We'll do something on this stream now. I want to see this candle close like somewhere around there. Like, at least make it be a bullish engulfment, right? And then I would actually like to target these highs initially, but that would mean that we would have to break this 4 hour downtrend. And if we do that, then I think sky is the limit. Or, well, not really, but like, you know, maybe you could have a first little TP here at this high, a second TP at this liquidity level there, another one here. I mean, if you do this already, you have like 3.81R. You know, a little trade idea here. But we'll have to see how this develops. How does it look on an hourly? Bro, I kinda really want to long this, right? Like, I really kinda want to long this. I might long this off stream. If I do, then it will be. I will write it in the Discord, of course. Yeah, and that's actually almost every. I actually true. I wanted to go over. What? Hello? Okay. I guess not. I guess I'm not looking at fucking S&P 500. Is this taking the mic? Like, are we serious though right now? What's the thing called? Mini. just give me. Is this a future? Whatever. Let's take it that way. Wow, the S&P 500 is looking good on the daily with the EMAs. Yeah. What the fuck? No, I don't want to see this. Bruh. Okay. I'm out. This is the fucking TradFi is rugging me. I don't want to see TradFi again. I wanted to look a bit at the general market as well for you guys, but TradingView knows that it's not a good idea for me to look at anything that's not crypto. So yeah, that concludes the stream for today. Obviously a bit, technically difficult today because first time and everything. But as we go further, I hope we'll get the hang of it, and I hope I can figure the webcam situation out, because I need to do something with the background. Because I don't want to see. I don't want you to see my old background here, so I'll have to figure something out with a green screen or whatever. But yeah, that's it for today's stream. As I have said, this will be uploaded as a VOD. Shut the fuck up. This will be uploaded as a VOD. Join the Discord to maybe see the fart coin trade if it happens. And yeah, GM.